What's up, Mob Crew? I'm Chris, and today's missing person case is Don. Also, today's person of interest is Olivia. Today's missing person case is Corey.
What's going on there, ma'am? We have a kidnapping. Hurry, please, please.
What's up, Mob Crew? Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you guys can hear me all right, please put a 1 in the chat. As everybody's filtering in, I'm going to quickly go ahead and play my plug to my affiliate, My Patriot Supply, real quick. Mob Crew and friends, are you prepared for the widespread food shortages ahead? Farmers have been warning us for months, but are we listening? They say it's beyond their control, especially with the fertilizer crisis. Bottom line, food shortages will be a harsh reality very soon. That's why you should get ready now with emergency food from My Patriot Supply. And good news, today you'll save 20% on their 3-month food kit. These kits provide delicious, easy-to-make breakfasts, lunch, dinner, snacks, drinks for one person for 3 solid months. Get one for each member of your family while you're able to save 20% during this timely sale. Remember, My Patriot Supply is the nation's largest preparedness company with millions of families already protected. These 3-month food kits, which average 2,000 calories a day, are in stock and ready to go. Your order ships fast and free and arrives in unmarked boxes. Go to preparewiththemobcrew.com. Those who know what's coming are already prepared. Are you? Prepare with www.preparewiththemobcrew.com. Thank you so much. All right, so shout out to My Patriot Supply for being an affiliate with this channel. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. I am Chris with Monsters Under Our Bed. We cover murder, mystery to the paranormal. Today we're going to be covering the Idaho Students case. Before we get started though, we always like to give back by featuring the missing. And also, if you have someone that recently went missing, family member, friend, or something, you can email me. And if I can get a chance, I would be more than happy to feature them in an upcoming live show. So today's missing, we have Leah Como. She went missing on October 5th of last year out of Phoenix, Arizona. She is just 17 years old. Blonde hair, blue eyes, 5'6" and 150 pounds. She may still be in the local area, or she may have traveled to Gilbert, Arizona. And so if you have any information, please call 911 or 1-800-THE-LOST. Okay, let's get started. Shout out to all the mods for all the hard work you guys do. We're going to be doing a mod appreciation show probably next week. This week's been kind of hectic. We got a ton of snow at the beginning of the week. And then on top of that, unfortunately, we had our pug that was 15 years old passed away yesterday. So that's kind of been tough on the family. So I've been behind on some things. And so if you emailed me in the last couple of days, I'll apologize. I'm going to get to those just after the show. So it looks like Brian is, let's take a look at the air tracker. It looks like he is still in the air. I apologize. I saw a post of a plane landing. I guess that was them landing halfway in Illinois. So my apologies. It looks like he's still in the air. This is the flight he's on, apparently. But looks like they're almost over Idaho. I'm not sure how up to date this is. I never really used Live Tracker before, but looks like he's getting close. I know that they're sitting out there at the airport right now. We'll go ahead and this is a video that I saw, and I kind of read part of it, and it said it landed. I'm like, oh, okay, he's here. But this was just a halfway point, I guess. So, but let's take a look. So here is the crew that's out there right now. So just a little clip. Looks like everybody's waiting for him to arrive. Oop. Quick. So they didn't say anything about when there's going to be a hearing. Obviously, there's not going to be one today because it's too late. Maybe tomorrow, and we'll kind of keep track of the updates as they come in. But today we're going to kind of focus on the body cam footage. There's the two videos of the two different times he was pulled over. I break both of those down. I even overlap them to show some things between the two videos that I find kind of interesting that Bryan does. It seems like he's clearly trying to divert where he's going. And of course, he's with his father, who ends up just kind of giving away everything anyway. But we'll look at that. And then we'll also look at the Vigil. There's a guy that looks like Bryan walking. I looked at just some still photos of that, did a side-by-side. I wasn't 100%. I kind of leaned more towards no. But now looking at the way he walks, and now we have video of him kind of walking couple of different times when he comes into the courthouse in Pennsylvania, I thought we'd kind of overlay those two and see how those look as well. So we'll go ahead and quickly just play a short clip of just everything that's kind of happened today, and then we'll start breaking down those videos.
New this morning, the man accused of killing 4 college students has been extradited back to Idaho to face murder charges. In the last few minutes, News Nation has learned Bryan Kohberger is being transported from a jail in Pennsylvania to the state where he allegedly committed that crime.
Oh, they stopped twice.
We also have new body camera video of Kohberger and his father from a traffic stop along the way as they were driving from Idaho to Pennsylvania in December. Robert Sherman is live in Moscow, Idaho with the latest on this investigation. Good morning, Robert.
Good morning to you, Mitch. It's the moment that a lot of people have been waiting for as Bryan Kohberger made his first appearance in a court yesterday.
Oh, wow.
We saw him entering the Monroe County, Pennsylvania courthouse where he had an extradition hearing. And in that hearing, he waived his right to extradition, meaning that he's not going to be contesting the fact that he will be coming back here to Idaho in order to face prosecutors of the potential charges that will be unsealed against him once he makes it back here to Idaho. There was a moment in the courtroom yesterday where he made eye contact with his family, and his family members burst into tears upon seeing him there, which is going to show the gravity of the situation inside of that courtroom.
Thank you, AJ. Yeah, what a day. Hope the probable cause affidavit is unsealed soon. That's kind of what it was with Richard Allen. Is once he kind of got to court, they did a hearing. They had first originally sealed it for a little while, and then they did unseal it shortly after. But yeah, who knows? It could be tomorrow. Could be much later.
The district attorney weighed in on the significance of that extradition waiving by Bryan Kohberger. I want you to take a listen to what he had to say on that.
Idaho does not release their probable cause affidavit in support of their arrest warrant until after their defendant is returned to that state. But having read those documents and the sealed affidavits of probable cause, I definitely believe that one of the main reasons the defendant chose to waive extradition and hurry his return back to Idaho was the need to know what was in those documents.
Okay, so we'll end that clip there, and this is some of the body cam footage, but got it breaking down here. Thank you so much, AJ, for the $1.99, and thank you, Tom. I'm sorry, yours is at the top. Thank you, buddy. I saw you donate at the very beginning, and we got a member, B.A. Burrell. Thank you so much for becoming a member and supporting the channel. I really appreciate it. So we'll go ahead and look at. Gosh, yeah, they updated this software, and so my apologies. I'm still trying to. Okay, there we go. All right, let's look at the video here. Okay, what did I call? Okay, vehicle pulled over. Comparison. Where are you at? I'm not bringing it over yet. There it is. Okay. All right, so we're going to go ahead and look at the two vehicle stops.
Recording.
So the first one is, so they're both on the 15th, which is in the middle of December. This one's at 10:42, and then he'll get pulled over. And this must be like when maybe they just entered Indiana, I'm assuming, because then 5 hours later they'll get pulled over again in Indiana. And really, I mean, if you were just driving straight through, maybe 2 to 3 hours, depending on how fast you're going and which way you go. But it's kind of weird. After 5 hours, they're still in Indiana. And clearly they must have stopped after this, in between the first getting pulled over this time and then the second time. And he even talks about what they're going to do.
Hello. How you doing? How y'all doing today? Good. Take a look at your driver's license real quick if I could. See, he's right up on that van, man. He was right up on the back end of that van. Pulled you over for tailgating. Is this your car? Okay.
So here I kind of slow motion it because there is some kind of wound on his right hand. It's kind of like right here that we see in the second video. And I was trying to look for it in this video, but you can't really see it. There's one spot where I can't tell if it's just the shadow or if it's whatever mark he has on his arm. Some people think that could have been a scratch from when he was attacking. But we'll kind of look at it side by side. But he does some interesting things. As soon as he hands the ID, he'll actually go to scoot his shirt back up, his sleeve back up to his wrist. It's very nonchalant right here. He does it. And it's interesting where he keeps his left hand after he kind of explains. But this first video is really interesting. It has a lot because the officer's asking him where he's going and
where are you headed?
So I had made a video. If you hadn't seen it, I was trying to break down and enhance the audio to see what he was actually saying, because some of the stuff I couldn't quite tell what he was saying just because of the traffic noise. But thanks to Tom Ann for helping me with this. But the officer asked, where are you going? And he says, we're going to get Thai food, which I think is interesting. And so obviously he's not being too descriptive. And then his dad comes in being all honest and everything. And you can tell that Bryan's not happy because I'm sure, if he is guilty, he's trying to be nonchalant and be as vague as possible. But his dad steps in and says, oh, yeah, we just coming from Washington State University and we're headed here. And you can see the look on his face and the way he looks at his dad here. And here it comes.
Well, we're coming from WSU, and we're standing early.
What's WSU?
And as soon as they start talking about WSU, then this is when Bryan steps in, almost like to kind of like cut the conversation and start deflecting. And he starts talking about this shooting that they witnessed like an hour and a half before this them getting pulled over. And I didn't have time enough to look at that specific incident. But I guess when they were driving, they saw SWAT team or something, and there was some shooting involved. And I guess they witnessed it. But anyway, he goes to deflect and talks about that.
Yeah, I go to university basically. And we were listening to this incident that was occurring up there. There was a shooting incident. That is SWAT team and everything.
So we're okay. I'm having a hard time hearing you because of the traffic. So you're
now I know. Okay, so I would turn up the video. I'm just gonna have to describe what's going on. If I turn up the video, it's gonna be super loud with just vehicle noise. Unfortunately, I can't have one without the other. So I don't want to blow your eardrums out. That's why. So I'm just going to kind of explain what he's saying. We can look at some audio that I broke down, and I would probably just refer to the video I made. But unfortunately, there's so much vehicle noise that's so loud. If I turn this up any louder, I'll do a little bit. I guess I can turn it up. I'll go back a little bit, I guess. Just beware. It's going to be kind of loud.
What's WSU?
Yeah, I go to university basically. And we were listening to this incident that was occurring up there. There was a shooting incident. That is SWAT team and everything.
So we're okay. I'm having a hard time hearing you because of the traffic.
So now he rolls up his window, and then he asks the question again. And the same thing Bryan says, instead of like where they're actually going, he just says, "Hey, we're going to get some Thai food."
You're coming from Washington State University, and you're going where?
And he says the same thing, "We're going to get some Thai food." But then his dad steps in again and gives him even more detailed description of where they're coming from and where they're going to.
Oh.
We're going to be going to Pennsylvania.
Oh.
And then so his dad says, "We're going to Pennsylvania," and then even clarifies Pocono Mountains.
Okay.
Pocono Mountains. Yep. So we're slightly punchy because we're driving for hours.
Hours, days.
Hours to drive. Well, almost a day.
Okay. And what did you say about some SWAT team thing? Or
yeah, there was a mass shooting and everything. We don't know if it was a mass
where?
This was
Oh, do you think he says tofu? Get some tofu? Oh, could be. Tofu, Thai food, tofu. Let's try. Maybe. Let's see. I'll let you guys decide. Let's go back. Maybe.
Pocono Mountains. Yep. So we're slightly punchy because we're driving for hours.
Let me go back just a little bit.
University basically. And we were listening to this incident that was occurring up there. There was a shooting incident. That is SWAT team and everything.
So we're okay. I'm having a hard time hearing you because of the traffic. So you're coming from Washington State University, and you're going where? Oh.
We're going to be going to.
I hear Thai. I hear the I. You can really hear the I. In my opinion, you can really hear the Thai. Because I thought he was saying something else, like Idaho or something. But I think Thai food is the best thing I've heard. I don't know 100%, but it sounds like Thai food. Or Thai food. Hello, Mob Crew. Thank you so much, Tom Man, for the $20, buddy. Good to see you. So if you're just tuning in, we're going to break down both the videos, and then I even overlap them to show you some things that I noticed he does in one video. The other video, unfortunately, the officer's camera is like pointed down most of the time, so there isn't much to break down in that one, and you can barely hear anything in that second video.
Oh, okay.
Pocono Mountains. Yep. So we're slightly punchy because we're driving for hours.
Hours, days.
Hours to drive. Well, almost a day.
Okay. And what did you say about some SWAT team thing? Or
yeah, there was a mass shooting and everything. We don't know if it was a mass
where?
This was
So, like I said, I did a video where I break down the audio a little bit better. It's really hard because you have so much background noise with the vehicles driving by, but they're really just talking about the shooting incident and just describing it. And it just seems like he just wants to keep that conversation going and not talk about where they're going. But Dad's already, you know, kind of spilled the beans on that.
Well, it's horrifying because he's going to the university, you know what I mean?
So y'all work at the university there?
But it's interesting where his left hand is. I don't know. I mean, usually you want to keep your hands kind of in sight, but it's really interesting. He's got his left hand like in between his legs. And it's kind of scary.
I actually do work there.
Oh,
PhD in criminal.
okay.
So here's him looking at his dad. Oh, what? Look at that. Oh. And this is just after his dad starting to spill the beans. And it's like, yeah, I don't think his dad knew anything. His poor dad. But just look at that face. I mean, that is creepy. That is creepy. The upper wrist right hand has elongated cut. Yeah, I hear Thai food. That's and looking back at my video, I think most people would agree with that. This law enforcement knew this was going down. Thanks, Chris. Thank you so much, Tom, for the $5. But yeah, tofu is vegan. But yeah, that look is crazy. But look where his left hand is, and then so he's got his right hand, and he's got his sleeve back up. That whatever that cut or whatever is almost just barely covered up by his sleeve, which we'll be able to see in the other video. I think it's kind of interesting. He's got his left hand down between his legs. I mean, I don't know. It just seems a little odd. Like, does he have something under that seat? You know, last case scenario. You know, it's kind of creepy. But yeah, he don't look happy. His poor dad just seems like, yeah, we're just going for a joyride. Yeah, that's such a death stare. It is. Oh, I mean, just look at. Oh, and then this is the slow motion of when they're kind of just after his dad kind of talked about where they're going and stuff. And but I just noticed his hand stays right between those two legs, like he's almost got something under the seat.
Okay. Yeah, I hadn't heard about that incident. Just yesterday, or?
No, this happened this morning. About an hour and a half ago. They're still wrapping it up for investigating. I'm not sure there's two shooters because they did shoot somebody.
I see.
And then you don't know about that actually. They were apparently shooting out of the window or something.
Interesting.
Well, that's a good question.
Okay. So do me a favor, don't follow too close, okay?
Oh,
all right. Thank
If you notice right there, he grabbed the ID with his left hand. That's one thing I noticed. He'll unfortunately make the mistake of well, we'll find out here in the next one. But as you can see, because his wound is on his right hand, so I noticed that he keeps his right hand down and gets the ID from his left hand.
All right. Thank you.
But I was trying to see if I could see his hand or the wound on the first video, but you really can't. But in the second one, you really can.
Appreciate you.
So I'm also doing some other work to kind of figure out exactly where he was pulled over in these two videos to kind of get an idea. But I would assume they're kind of early on into Indiana at 10:44, and then they're going to get pulled over. Clearly, they must have stopped and ate and took a break and then got back out on the road because when they get pulled over again, they're still in Indiana. And well, we'll look at the time here in just a second. So now on our right is the next time they get pulled over, and I just want to do kind of a side-by-side, see if there was anything different with the cars. And But as we can see on the left, he gets pulled over at the first time at 10:42. Then keep in mind military time, so it's 15:50. You minus 12, that's 3:50. So if we just average and say this was at 10:50, that's technically 5-hour difference. So they get pulled over pretty much from 5 hours, 5-hour window, but they're still in Indiana. So it kind of shows that they're kind of sightseeing and, maybe stopping in each state, because they said they've been driving for days. I mean, really, you could probably do it in a day and a I have to look about it, but day and a half, maybe 2, day and a half probably if you're going straight. So, so I definitely think that they were stopping at places. But the car looks pretty much exact same. It's got the dirty back end, which is pretty much just like when you've got a bunch of snow and then you drive, dirt gets on it. So this is pretty much what my car would typically look like, especially in the winter time, because just, the dust and everything collects on it. So this is pretty typical. I'm going to turn this down a little bit. This one's a lot more harder to understand what's going on just because the traffic and everything. And unfortunately, we don't really get to see their face except for the very beginning. So this is where we get to see what some people think is some kind of cut on his hand or bruising. And we can kind of see it here. And I've got a screenshot of it as well that we can look at. But I did on the left is the second time they get pulled over. On the right is the first time they get pulled over, which I just now realize I'm in the way. So I'm going to go ahead and scoot this over so you guys can see both of them here. It's too bad this officer is not, he's got his camera set up funky or something where once he gets up to the window, pretty much we can't see anything after. But here we can kind of see something on his hand here. And I notice in this one, he keeps his right hand kind of to the side. So if that was something he's trying to cover up, unless it's just some kind of really odd shadow, but it's pretty, I don't know, I think it's definitely something. There's just a still shot of it. And it's, oh, there we go. I mean, it looks pretty big. We can see it right here. So thank you, Mary L12, for becoming a member. And what do we got? Oh, Mary, thank you so much for gifting 5 memberships. That's awesome. So if you're new to gifting, it's random. You just click the little gift box at the top left there, just under the video at the top of the chat. All you have to do that is just once, and then you're accepted, and it's just random. It'll randomly pick 5 people, and then we got Pammy gifting 5 memberships. That's awesome, and I'll definitely be doing some membership videos. I usually do 1 to 2 videos plus a live each week, or at least a live every other week with the members. So thank you guys so much. That's so awesome.
Take a look at your license and registration. I stopped you, man, when you were driving by me there. You were a little too close to the back of that semi. About 1 car between you and the back of this trailer. About 1 car going 10 miles an hour. So
in this video, which I'm going to do a little bit more, like I said, this one's a little bit harder because there's just, I don't know if it's just because of the traffic and everything else, but it's a lot harder to hear this stop compared to the first one. But the one thing I do notice is that the dad does most of the talking in this one.
Going 60 or 70 miles an hour. About 6 or 7 cars. Oh, you guys did?
Yeah, and you said that.
You guys stopped by a trooper? We don't have any SUVs. It was a county guy. Was it like a black SUV?
So they're basically just talking about, yeah, they got pulled over earlier, and then just kind of describing the incident.
Yeah. Okay. All right. All right. And you thought you guys were following too closely? Today?
Yeah, I think it's just especially the timing. It's 3:40, so it's the middle of the day. The traffic it's just consistent. Where as the first stop's at 10:40, it's probably not as bad. Like I said, so it's really hard to hear a lot of it. I'm still trying to break it down, but anyway, we'll play a little bit more, and then we'll jump over to that vigil, where it looks like it could be him going to that vigil. And so anyway, we'll break that down I did some side-by-sides of him walking and that guy that could possibly be Bryan, and we'll see what you guys think in the chat. And yeah, we'll check the flight tracker here in just a minute.
I'm not going to give you guys another ticket or warning if you just got stopped. Just make sure you give yourself plenty of room, okay? So like I said, it's all about how fast you're going, okay? So if you're going 10 miles an hour, you only need one car. Or if you're going, so the speed limit here is 7. If you're going 70 miles an hour, you need 7 car miles. Yeah. That's the easy way to explain it. Yeah. Okay. It's really, it's if you're in the B&B manual, it says 227.
I mean, I can hear what the officer's saying, but I can make out words here and there with what the father and son, but it's not consistent like the other video.
You guys have safe. We're not heading. Thank you so much for this time. Where we're heading to? Where we're at? PA. It's a long haul. You guys scared of airplanes?
So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and skip it forward. Pretty much he just both stops are warnings. And all right, we'll come back and look at this here in just a second. Let's look at what's going on. Oh. Let's see. Looks like he's going to be there pretty soon. Probably within the next half hour tops, I would assume. It's definitely moving a lot more. Oh, because it's zoomed in. Interesting. So yeah, it's looks like it's going close to Lewiston. Oh, maybe Pullman. That's right, because it's going to Pullman, right? Like I said, I really haven't used the live trackers much. But yeah, getting close. Real close. So let's look at this guy this is at the vigil for the students, and this has been kind of going around. And so I decided to break down this with him walking along with whoever this guy is, which could be Bryan. We'll look at the video regular. So it's this guy right here. Some people are saying they think this could be Bryan. Definitely a tall guy, skinny like Bryan. It almost looks like the guy's wearing glasses, in my opinion, when he first comes in. Not 100%. It really does kind of look like he's wearing glasses now that I look at it a second time. Maybe not. Anyway, so I go ahead and show some, do a slow motion. It does kind of look like he's got I think he's got glasses on. He does. Yep. He's got glasses on. I'm almost... I think he has glasses on. I could be wrong. That's so not him. Emma says that's so not him. Well, we'll take a look. We'll Oh, this is where I was showing where his left hand was. I forgot I kind of replayed this. Oh, yeah, here we go. So, I wanted to match up the hair. That's what I was doing from this video. So, one thing I noticed about his hair is it's a lot more clean shaven, closer shaven on the back. Really short in the back, where it's a little bit longer in the top. It seems like the guy that's walking in this video is, it's the same length all the way around from the top and the back. So in my opinion, I don't think that's him, but it's weird because he does kind of have a similar walk, and we'll look at that. But I thought we'd just look at it because some people, not him, most people say not him. I didn't think so the first time we looked at it, but now that we have his walk,
face prosecutors and the potential charges.
He is tall and skinny. And he's got that kind of short curly hair. But as you can see, it's a little more in the back. It's close shaven. And here I'm going to overlap the two here in just a second. Make sure you guys can see it okay. So here's this guy. Yeah, it doesn't look like he's got like that short in the back like he does. I mean, do keep in mind that was I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks difference. I can see his glasses now, though. That guy's wearing glasses. Now that I've seen that multiple times, that guy's clearly wearing glasses. I can see him. That's something I didn't notice before. Yeah, I can see his lens. Anyway, I thought I'd do it just in case if anybody thought that was him. I think I just kind of, in my opinion, it confirms that's not him. But I understand why people would want to look at that, just because, it's not uncommon for criminals to go back. But yeah, he does have that same kind of walk though, which is kind of interesting. That's why I wanted to, look at the walks. Is it does kind of, but other than that, I don't think it's him. Like I said, that guy's got glasses. I mean, it's not like he couldn't put on a pair of glasses either, though. Anyway, and then looking at the jacket. Oh, that's what I was also doing as well. Is people wondering? Clearly, he's wearing a black. This is clearly a black jacket. And then the guy that's walking by is blue jacket. Anyway, I just wanted to break that down because people were talking about that. So yeah, I don't think that's him. It looks close, but I don't think so. So let's take one more look at the flight plan. It's getting close, maybe 20 minutes. Let's see what's new here. What is that? What is going on in that? That is a bird that hit a plane. I don't know if that's his plane, though. FBI directed him, please. Oh, no kidding. Oh, this is interesting. So FBI directed Indiana police, and you know what's crazy is we had, our special guest on, Steve from True Crime Web. We had him on Monday, kind of discussing, them getting pulled over and was that on purpose? And he said that was, trying to gauge, make sure that especially if he has somebody in the car with them, they want to make sure that person what the situation is, and then of course if they can get any details of where he's going. But this is interesting, this article here. Thanks Karen for tweeting this out. So it says FBI directed Indiana police to pull over Bryan, seeking video images of his hands. And so of course we were kind of looking at that as well. And There is that, picture that has something that's odd on his right-hand side there, which in the first video, he's kind of got it covered up, and he actually has his hand to the side for part of the time he's in the car. So we'll go ahead. Let me get caught up on this. Tom says he walks confident as F. This guy has no F's to give. Yeah, he definitely no argument there, buddy. Thank you so much, Tom, for the $5. Becky says, but he also walking in ankle chains. That's true. That is true. That's a great observation. Thank you so much, Becky, for the $5. I guess you would kind of shuffle, wouldn't you, if you're in ankle chains? All right, so let's read this. This is interesting. So, FBI surveillance team tracked Idaho suspect Bryan and his father on a cross-country road trip from Washington State to Pennsylvania and asked Indiana police to pull him over, law enforcement source told Fox News. The LE source told Fox News that the FBI surveillance team was seeking video images of Kohberger as well as his hands. Keep in mind, he was wearing those gloves when they were starting to surveillance him, that he was going into grocery stores with gloves and stuff. I mean, when it's winter, if it's in Idaho, I kind of understand going, if you're outside and you're wearing gloves. But I actually went to the store today because it's, it's cold here. And of course I'm wearing gloves. I have poor circulation in my hands. So I like to wear gloves, especially in the cold. But yeah, when I went into the grocery store, it's almost just without even thinking, I already had my gloves off, and especially when I'm grabbing items and stuff. So I'm like, that's kind of interesting, especially when you go to like pay and stuff. Like, I'd hate to have things on my hands because I got to reach and grab my wallet, and so that's kind of interesting. So Bryan and his father were pulled over twice in Indiana on December 15th while making the cross-country trip. Let's see. Law enforcement source said that investigators were still building their case on December 15th to make an arrest, but added that genealogy played a major role. Bryan is being charged in connection to the fatal November 13th stabbings. Okay, so just a little quick article update, but that's interesting. We kind of figured that this was on purpose, especially twice being pulled over, but that's interesting that they were seeking video evidence. I don't know about, it's interesting. They mentioned the hands, so that is kind of wild. So I'm just looking at this. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about too. This is a little interesting, but that's coming from Fox. I mean, so, and I agree with what Sleuthy is saying. I don't understand, because they did put out a gag order, what was it, today or yesterday? And so that's supposed to keep any law enforcement that's involved in this case from talking about anything to the media, which it's typical, but that is interesting. I wonder if that was a oopsie. If it was Daily Mail, then I would be kind of worried, but that is coming from Fox. So here, looks like it's getting close. That's what the altitude is. So here's the live radar, and then apparently they're going to Pullman, Washington, which is just next to Moscow. That's in Washington here. So real close. Maybe that's why I pulled over twice. First cop couldn't see, but the second cut and second stop. Yeah. Yep. Oh, there's Steve. Let's see what he has to say. If they had directed me to do that, why not have him exit for field sobriety? Hand to nose test. Hands exposed on trunk. Ooh. Yeah, that's a great point. Interesting. Okay, let's go ahead and play this interview. We've got a couple other things we'll go over, and then we'll recap everything. Let's see, which one am I going to do? Let's play this one here.
Murder suspect Bryan Christopher Kohberger is on his way to Idaho just hours after waiving extradition in a Pennsylvania courtroom. Sources close to Law and Crime Network say the accused killer is taking a private flight across the country, returning to the very county where the gruesome murders were committed. Once he lands, Kohberger will be booked in the Latah County Jail in Moscow, Idaho. The jail can hold up to 39 inmates, but right now holds only 23. Kohberger will make 24, though the accused murderer will be secluded from the rest of the inmate population. Kohberger will also apparently be provided specific food to satisfy his vegan diet. The jail cells are in the basement of the Latah County Courthouse, where Kohberger is expected to make his initial appearance. After Kohberger appears in Latah County Court, a now sealed affidavit is expected to be unsealed. It's then that we will likely learn more about the murder investigation, what led up to Kohberger's arrest, and potentially even a motive in the crime. Law and Crime Network will continue to follow this high-profile case as it develops and bring you the latest information as it comes in.
Yeah, it's too bad we didn't get to, that's one thing I forgot to kind of look at is, can we see if he has that little mark on his hand?
Court.
Okay, this is in the way. All right. Let's just see if this mark was on his hand, or if it's gone away. Kind of curious. Okay, give me 1 second. We'll do something together here. Okay, create project. Okay. So that was this one here. Okay. All right, and we get to see his hand right about here. All right. Okay, let's see if he still has that, whatever, if that was a wound on his hand. Dun, 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 dun. Let's see. Man, I don't see it, but it's... I'll slow it down here and see. Oh, all right, got the properties. Oh, 1 second. We'll see if we can see it. Here we go. You guys get to see a little how we do this stuff.
Burger appears.
Okay, I'm gonna turn down the volume real quick, and then I'll blow it up for you guys here so we can all see it. All right, let's see if there's something on his hand. I might actually brighten it up just a little bit. It's a little dark. And a little color to it. Brighten it up about right there. I think that should be good. Right. Just a little bit more. Okay, let's see if it's on there. Go full screen for you guys. Make sure you guys. Okay. All right, let's see if he's got that wound. Oh, man, that's tough. I don't know. Let's see how far, all right, on his wrist it was. It would be this one. It would be the second one. Comparison. Oh, I know. Let's see here. And then I'll try to get to some chat as well. Just 1 second, guys. Okay, let me... Let's see. If I look at his hand... All right. Look at the hand. Okay, there it is. All right, let's see how far over it is on his hand. Okay, I'll put it full screen for you guys here in just a second. Okay. So we can see it's right there. Oh, let me go full screen for you guys. Oh, my head's in the way. Yeah, I don't know. I don't see it. Not to say it's not there. That's something maybe I'll have to break down a little bit more. Interesting. Anyway, I don't see it, but that doesn't mean it's not there. It could be nothing, but I'll definitely break it down some more. We are 50 days plus later. Those are serious injuries. Yeah. Plane has landed, Shield says. Okay, let's take a look. I'm sure this... Oh, yeah. It has. Give it time. So let's look at Twitter here. Bryan has arrived. Okay, 23 seconds ago. Okay. Plane is slowing down, about to land. That was a long flight, so I guess they stopped twice. Interesting. Okay, live event. Ooh. Should we take a little peek at this? Thank you so much, Tom, for the $5. Let's see what they have to say.
Welcome to the University of Arizona Global Campus. At UAGC, you can choose from over 50 programs with...
Oh wow, yeah, nighttime. Can you see that okay? He's back. Is the chat too fast? Okay. Hopefully that'll be a little bit better for you guys. Yeah, it'd be down at the bottom of the forearm. Yeah, like I said, I'll see if I can take all the footage I can find of him walking. I'm sure maybe we have that video, but maybe there's another one as well that I can see. I'll try to compare, see if that mark is there or not. I'll have more time after this live where I can adjust some filters. Oh, I wonder if we're going to see him get out. Ooh. Should I go full screen? Let's see. Oh, what's going on? There we go. Let me take my banner off here. Oh, the plane just, there we go. Oh, gosh, it's completely dark. There's nothing wrong with the screen. They're just, I don't know where the cameraman's pointing right now. Okay, yeah, he went a little too high, I guess. Oh, he's walking up to it. Okay, there we go. Here, that's better. Man, this seems like a different shot. Oh, wow. Okay, they're going to get him. Oh, wow. We'll have PCA by 11 a.m.? Do we know that for sure? Is that... Are you just guessing, Tom, or... That would be huge. Yeah, I was thinking we'd have it by the time, once he gets back within a day. Within 24 hours of him being back, I was thinking we'd probably have it. Oh, what's up, Sleuth? How you doing, buddy? Oh, it sucks he's on the other side. Oh, I see orange. You guys see it? Yeah, it's just above my... Right there. Right there. Okay, they're going left. Watch out for snipers. Right, there he is. Right into the truck. Four-door truck. Oh, I see his face right there poking out right here. Just a little bit. No! Come on, cameraman. Really? He's running. I can hear him running. There's nothing wrong with the picture. This cameraman's running or something right now. I'm sure you guys can hear him. But I'd love to know this man's thoughts about now. Thank you so much, Pammy. You talking about Brian's thoughts now that he's here, and you know, because he technically doesn't know what they have against him. I mean, I'm sure he has an idea, especially if he's guilty. I didn't see glasses on, Ashley. No. Okay, the cameraman's still running around. Thank you so much, Rachel. Great show, Chris. Love your hard work. Thank you so much for the $2. So if you're just tuning in, this is supposed to be live video of them at the airport right now. We saw him for just a second, and then I don't know, the cameraman's on the move right now. Makes me wonder if they're going to get in the vehicle and maybe follow them or something. Oh, there we go. Yep. I'm going to try to get a view of them as they're coming out. Why is my chat disappearing? That's so weird. I know, the cameraman is terrible. Yeah, so maybe he's in this one? I don't know. It looked like a silver four-door truck. Looks just like a press. Okay. This was the flight from... That was a long flight. Oh, there's the truck. Okay, I think that's the truck right there that I saw him get in. I could be wrong. Yeah, it's one of these. Oh yeah, that's the convoy. Yeah, there's the truck right there. Holy cow, there's four vehicles in this convoy. I wonder if they have to come through this way. No, they're going this way to the left. There's Bryan Enton. There's News Daddy. It's his cameraman, I guess. It's weird my chat is like doing it. Oh, you and Sleuth should do a show. Yeah, I'd be honored to be do a show with Sleuth. So I don't know if they're planning on doing any kind of statement or anything. Well, we'll kind of watch this for a minute, and I might check Twitter, see. There's Bryan Enton again. Let's see if I can. Okay, so here's Bryan Enton right above me. I think the team that we're watching is Fox, so I don't think they're going to interview Bryan Enton. I think this is Fox. Or are they going to be coming out of the gate? Oh, okay, here we go. Is this the convoy? Don't look like it. Maybe. It's got to be at the beginning of the convoy. He's pooping his pants in the car. Yeah. If he's guilty. Yeah, I agree. Somebody poked their head in the way. At least we got a glimpse of him. Yeah, we did get to see him for a second. I don't know if the convoy's left yet. I think they're... I'm going to minimize this real quick and see... Yeah, so this is Fox. We'll watch a little bit more, see what happens, and we'll go check Twitter here. So I guess I'll share just a slight story. So when I was on News Nation, while I was waiting to get interviewed by Ashley Banfield, the producer like comes in your ear, and you know you're just kind of sitting in oh hold on. Okay, are we still live? Okay, this is definitely going back. Okay, now they're fast. What is going on? Well, now you can kind of see them real quick here. Anyway, the story I was sharing is while I was sitting waiting to, they were doing sound tests for everybody that was going to be on the show, and all I could see was me, but I heard this guy talking in the background, and at the time I didn't know until after. Oh, here he is. Oh, here we go. There he is. So this must have been from the other cameraman. Okay, I don't know. Maybe this is repeating or something. No, I don't remember the camera doing that. Okay, this event. Okay, so that's over. Okay, that's kind of interesting. Just see him land. So curious. Is that for sure the probable cause affidavit? Let's take a look at that. I am so curious about that. Do we know if that's true or not? Yeah, and that's the one other thing I wanted to play is the interview with the family. If you haven't seen that, it's just a short interview. Okay. Okay. Anyway, I didn't finish my story. So yeah, while I was waiting in the background to be interviewed, they were doing sound checks for everybody, but I couldn't see whoever else was going to be on the show. Anyway, I guess it was Brian Enton and the cameraman, and they were just kind of joking around. They were kind of cursing, not badly, but they were just kind of joking around. And it was just so weird because here I'm all stressed out and like ready to go. Doing something I never thought I'd ever do. And then there's these guys like kind of joking back to each other in my ear, to each other, and they're kind of just telling jokes and just all nonchalant. I'm like, what is going on? And then I finally realized it was Brian Enton and the cameraman talking to each other because they have to kind of do a sound test, and they were just kind of messing with the producer. And so yeah, it was kind of a fun moment to kind of see Brian Enton kind of behind the scenes when he's not doing his thing. All right, so I guess we can cross that off. He has landed. He's here. FBI directed stop record. Okay, let me check that out. So we saw that. Here's law enforcement put a vest and some sort of helmet on before putting him in the vehicle. Oh, is this a different angle?
Now on the ground right now at the Moscow Pullman Regional Airport. Appears he's been loading into a police SUV. Again, from here, he'll be taken over to the Latah County Jail where he'll be processed. And we would assume that he'll face a judge for his initial arraignment tomorrow, sometime tomorrow, because again, it's 6:30 in the evening. The court there closes, I believe, at 4:30. So the crews have already gone home from the courthouse. So that hearing will likely take place tomorrow. And then after that hearing, at some point after that, we would expect to have those probable cause documents unsealed. So we'll get a look finally at the evidence they say they have in this case.
Okay. So that's kind of hard to hear. It's up all the way. I'm going to play that one more time if you didn't hear that. So they said he'll most likely see the judge tomorrow, and then we'll get the probable cause affidavit.
Yesterday in court, the red, and it appears he's being escorted by deputies to a car right there. Bryan Kohberger, the man accused of killing 4 University of Idaho students, now on the ground right now at the Moscow Pullman Regional Airport. Appears he's been loading into a police SUV. Again, from here, he'll be taken over to the Latah County Jail where he'll be processed. And we would assume that he'll face a judge for his initial arraignment tomorrow, sometime tomorrow, because again, it's 6:30 in the evening. The court there closes, I believe, at 4:30. So the crews have already gone home from the courthouse. So that hearing will likely take place tomorrow. And then after that hearing, at some point after that, we would expect to have those probable cause documents unsealed. So we'll get a look finally at the evidence they say they have in this case.
A lot of different jurisdictional agencies have been involved in this. We know, obviously, Idaho State Police here locally, the Moscow Police.
Oh, yeah, they are. They're putting a vest on him while they're talking. So, yeah, they're just putting a vest on him. And they say they put a helmet on him.
Involved. And now Pennsylvania State Police also with the task of transporting him back to Idaho to make this exchange so that he can face those 4 first-degree murder charges, as well as at least 1 additional charge of burglary with the intent to commit a waiting for those documents to be unsealed in the morning after he is able to have his first court appearance in the state of Idaho. Because of Idaho state law, that is when those documents can be
wow. God, I've never... Wow. So you probably, especially with those that got a phone on or watching with your phone, you're like, what are you looking at? Okay, so I'll take a screenshot of that. Yeah, they put a helmet on this guy along with the vest. Let's see. Okay, just so you can see it. So right here, that is a helmet. And this is Bryan right here. They put the vest on him just a few minutes earlier, or a minute earlier, and then they put this helmet on. And that's him right there. I know it's kind of blurry, but yeah, it's a World War I helmet. Yeah. So, yeah, we don't want him getting shot or anything. So, anywho, that's kind of wild. All right, we'll take one last look here, and then we'll recap everything. And then we'll probably sign off here. We'll go for another 20 minutes. And I just want to say thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you guys could, if you haven't, hit the like button. That always helps us out. I'll probably take a closer look at that video as well. Everybody's uploading that video. There's another look at the helmet. I don't know if we can get a better look at it. That's them putting the helmet on, and then as soon as they put the helmet on, they put him in. Crazy. Okay, so expected to be at the hearing sometime tomorrow, and then a good possibility we'll have the probable cause affidavit sometime after he gets served or gets to see it. Wonder what time tomorrow. Will you find out, Chris? Yeah, I'm sure they'll probably say something maybe tonight, if not first thing in the morning. So here's if you haven't seen the tour of the house, they've done an amazing job with this. I wish I knew who to shout out exactly, but I can put the link to it. It's pretty interesting. But one of the things that we noticed when before they arrested Bryan is that they were collecting some evidence, and it was right here. And what was interesting is she was collecting some DNA that happened to be just like, I don't know if it was on this beer pong table. But why I thought that was interesting is, as you can see, Xana's bedroom's here. So that's where the 2 victims were on the 2nd floor. And then you would go upstairs, depending on which order it happened. But then we got Kaylee. We got Maddie's bedroom where Kaylee and Maddie were found. But the one thing that I noticed, and then the bedroom, which probably was empty, although they have a bed in here, since Kaylee was going to be moving to Texas. But one thing that I noticed was this. Oh, let me turn it around here. Yeah, they've done quite a great job now. Is this step right here. And I thought it was interesting because I used to have a home that had that kind of step in it. And it's just in such an awkward spot that I would tend to trip going up, or I would forget that it's, you got this one little step. and either coming back the other way, I would forget, kind of almost fall. So it makes me wonder if maybe, let's say, the third floor victims were first, and he was coming down the stairs and didn't realize the step was right here, and then kind of tripped. And then keep in mind that beer pong table would have been sticking out like right here. And it makes me wonder if maybe he touched it, or maybe if there's some blood dripping on the knife, maybe it happened to come in contact with this table right here. But if you guys haven't seen that video, I'll put a link to that as well. But I thought it was kind of interesting. I'll just show you the picture that I'm talking about. Let's see. No, it's not that one. That's the picture we just saw. And this one. I'll be on the live show tonight. So this one here. So this is the lady collecting evidence right here, and just interesting that this is where they had found some DNA, because she has a swab, and we had Steve from True Crime Web, who's former law enforcement and knows what that swab's for. Oh, and one more thing I wanted to show you guys. So I'm building this. This is still in the works, but I did want to kind of show you everybody kind of just the timeline of just everything from the murders to the arrest, and kind of like I'm still trying to figure out where Bryan was and what he was doing. So this has still got a long ways to go, but here's just kind of an overview of everything. And so if we kind of look, we had the murders that took place on November 13th. And then we have Bryan, who, did kind of, from what we understand, did go to school at the University of Washington. And then you would have obviously had the break at some point near Christmas, or Thanksgiving. And, but yeah, would have probably been in maybe Washington, or who knows, traveled. We don't know if he traveled or not, but he did go to school. And so you have the 1 week, 2 week, 3 and 4 weeks of, either going to school and then, taking the holiday off as well. And then they left. So his dad flew in, and I'm not sure, I'm still doing some research on it. But, when they got pulled over on December 15th, they said that they had been driving for days. So I'm not sure if they left on the 12th or the 13th. And so Dad would come in via plane, and then Bryan and his dad would leave to drive back to Pennsylvania. Now on the 15th, we knew that they were in Indiana, which is about 3/4 of the way there. And kind of with how long it took them just to get through Indiana, maybe it seems like they were kind of stopping in each state, maybe. It's kind of like a holiday thing or something. And then I would assume they arrived in Pennsylvania either on the 16th or 17th. And then we go, and then he's in Pennsylvania for 2 weeks. And then he gets arrested on December 30th. So that's just kind of an overview. And I'm going to do a lot more research and kind of figure out what he was doing in between the 13th and the 30th, and kind of have a little bit more detailed timeline of the events that Bryan and after the murders. So it'll be kind of interesting to see what he's been doing. On November 18th, he went to DMV. Interesting. On November 18th, he went to the DMV. Interesting. Okay. I'll have to look that stuff up. Like I said, I've just been kind of busy. If you're just tuning in, we had a lot of snow come here in Utah at the beginning of the week and over the weekend. And then, unfortunately, we had our pug pass away yesterday. So it was kind of real rough beginning of this week. So, but anyway, we just kind of took a look at the 2 videos. For those that missed the first part, we kind of broke down the 2 body cam footage. The first one has a lot of content to it because you can actually see him and they're talking. Clearly, Bryan doesn't really want to give a lot of details, and his dad is super honest. And so, when the officer asks him like where you're going, Bryan just says, "Hey, we're going to get Thai food," and then his dad immediately jumps in and says, "Oh, hey, we're coming from Washington State. We're heading here." And then as soon as his dad says that Bryan starts talking about this shooting that they saw early in the morning. So clearly Bryan was kind of trying to change the subject and deflecting, answering the question. But his dad would end up kind of spilling the beans. But I will definitely take a look and see if I can see that wound on his hand after the live show and see what else we can dig up. So, but I think let's see what we have. So yeah, we went for an hour and a half. So, thank you guys. Yeah, he's 15 years old, Pug, and such a cute little guy. I feel bad for my cousin. It was his dog, and but 15 years, it's pretty good for a pug. So, what's DMV? It's a DMV, yeah, because they have multiple. What's the other one? But yeah, DMV is driver motor vehicle. It's where you get your like driver's license or your registration. BMV, that's right, BMV. When I was in Ohio, they don't call it the DMV; they call it BMV. I was like, what the hell is a BMV? So, anyway, change plates. Ooh, I'll have to look at that. That's interesting. Yeah, you can get plates, all sorts of stuff. Yeah, it's not a bad idea. Yeah, obviously, if he's going to be driving cross country, probably want to make sure he's up on his registration and everything. That is interesting. We'll have to definitely take a look into that. So, okay, that's weird. I just missed a bunch of stuff. Sorry about your doggy friend. Thank you, Rainy Days, and thank you for being a member for 7 months. We'll have some stuff for the members coming hopefully tomorrow, and then we'll have a live show at the end of the week for the members. And thank you so much, Rachel. So sorry for your loss. Hugs and prayers. Thank you so much. So we're going to go ahead and end it there. And I was also big on that. It would be tough. Just reading the chat here. Make sure I didn't miss anything real quick before we go ahead. Okay. I think we're all good. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. Especially if they have the probable cause affidavit, we'll go live with that. So we're going to go ahead and play the outro. I love you guys. Be safe. We'll see you guys tomorrow.